As the green flag is out, we are underway here for the penultimate sprint race of the season at Fuji, and it's Michi Hoyer that makes a lightning getaway past Simičić. They're trying to go free wide into the first corner at Daichi. Marco Broder trying to go around the outside as well. Floater breaks deep and just about holds onto the lead from Michi Hoyer. Now Simičić has got that number 50 Ferrari. Of course, they go towards turn 3. Can De Buono go up the inside, get the Ferrari onto the podium, and Simičić, who looks so in control so far this season, now finds himself absolutely swamped by De Buono, and now Charles Neal has joined the party as well. Caitlin, look how defensive Simičić has to get into the hairpin here.
Yeah, that was not a good start from Simičić. He got rather mugged into turn 1 by Buono. It's a yellow flag, so hopefully everyone is okay down at the back of Hypercar or in the GT3 field. I see Nops dropping back, and there he is. So Nops has had a spin, and here we see, is that the lead of the LMGT3 class? This is Ercan challenging Prendergast, and there's a spin in the background for a BMW.
Zach Vermaak. It's Zach Vermaak that's dropped it in the background there. Ercan trying to attack up the inside yet again into the final corner, and that's Seb Bunch trying to go right up the inside of, I think that's Callum Cripps, and Cripps goes wide coming out of Panasonic, and that gives track position to Seb Bunch. But on the long run down the start-finish straight, it's going to be Callum Cripps that is going to try and go around the outside to get back in front of the Ferrari here, and Callum Cripps could really help his friend and countryman Kieran Prendergast out by holding up Seb Bunch as much as possible. But Bunch has got the inside into the first hairpin break, super deep, it's too deep. Up the inside goes Callum Cripps, and there's all sorts of carnage going on right behind us. Louis Gaspar under attack from the Corvette of Valtteri Manninen, and Manninen with Luca Fingard for close company behind as well. And then I think it's Regan Mitchell. So we've got a four-way fight here to get into the top 20 overall order, and Gaspar finds the Corvette sliding up the inside, and so's the BMW. Fingard, oh, it's got very messy. Around goes Valtteri Manninen. Always we see now Zach Vermaak up the inside then at the final corner on Rodriguez. Rodriguez leaves the door open and has to go a little bit wide on exit, so that's Zach Vermaak through into 8th position there.
And Cripps is second, so he has indeed got through on Arda Ercan into turn 1.
As we see now, Daniele Farinelli is the single dark blue. Oh, there we go. Brunel actually getting caught out there, and up the inside goes Julie Gurin.
Hoyer's right behind Grigoletto.
And yet this is for the lead, so Hoyer has gained that 1 second that he had and is going side by side with Grigoletto down the straight for the lead. They've got GT3 traffic coming up. Oh, banging doors, look at that. And Grigoletto will have the inside. That was very, very close. I know Valentine's Day was recently, but you don't need to literally hold hands. And Grigoletto gets out ahead simply by using the grip of that car on the outside. Hoyer has to slot in behind, but he'll get another opportunity, I'm sure.
Oh! And they go either side of Valtteri Manninen. Grigoletto around the outside. Hoyer has to back off on the inside there. Manninen just could not get out of the way quickly enough.
Yeah, and that was Wunsch we just saw in the pits there in the GT3 category. So the championship leader coming into the pits.
Oh, Louis Gaspar gets his braking all wrong into the first corner.
Arda Ercan is in the pits as well. I think he might just get through here because they're going to be close down to turn 1. There you see Ercan on the pit exit, and Wunsch does go through. So that is what we refer to as the undercut.
Michi Hoyer blinks first, so he's sick of being stuck behind the back of Fabio Grigoletto. Here comes Zach Vermaak then as Regan Mitchell slots up the inside of him to retake that 19th position in the overall order then. But Zach Vermaak isn't done yet. He's going to try and go around the outside at the final corner. I think Regan Mitchell is going to see that one off pretty sharpish, and there's going to be very, very close to contact through the final corner. I don't know how Zach Vermaak avoided touching him there, but they're going to be side by side, Caitlin, as they go down the back straight then. Is the BMW going to be faster in a straight line?
The BMW seems to be edging slightly ahead here. Zach Vermaak's going to get that position going down to turn 1.
Look at how much the number 3 Cadillac is just boxed in here, and has to get well on the brakes there to avoid hitting Crawford and Seb Bunch there. And Seb Bunch really did not need that.
Yeah, that was a tricky situation there. There's a little touch there between Ercan and Crawford. These two are on the same lap, with Ercan having pitted. Through goes Nops as well. Around the outside now goes Ercan. Crawford under no obligation to get out of the way, even though they're not really racing for position. And right around the outside goes Michi Hoyer. And it looks as if Ercan is going to get that one done. I'm sure he knows what he's doing. And that's a good move, quite a late one from Ercan, but I think he's going to make that stick on Sebastian Wunsch. Good move.
As we see now, Zach Vermaak, after his pit stop, finally clears the similar BMW of Marcus Crawford some of these corners, and he's just having to hold on. Luca Fingard holds up Grigoletto out of the final corner, and Simičić has a chance to run. This could be his best shot yet of taking the lead then. What can Fabio Grigoletto do as they clear Marcus Crawford now and go over the start-finish line with 12 minutes to go? Jene Simičić is gearing up the BMW for an attack into the first corner, and Grigoletto defends the inside very, very early on into that first hairpin there. Is Simičić going to try and cut underneath him? No, he can't, because Grigoletto has blocked the inside before he gets there.
Look at this, they're coming down pit lane, I think, and into the pits, and it's just Grigoletto. So Simičić stays out. He was slipstringing right to the end of that, and there is Michi Hoyer going through now. The question is, where will he be in relation to Grigoletto? Grigoletto comes out ahead.
All these hypercars trying to cover each
Three
other.
leaders in, Prendergast.
And Simičić is following Prendergast in as well.
Jene Simičić, of course, the overall race leader, exiting the pits. He'd have had a slightly shorter pit stop than, say, Hoyer, who stopped earlier. And I think he's going to get the lead here because they're going to be side by side, and it looks as if he has. So Simičić leads the race.
Now we see Ercan trying to get into, I think this is fourth position in class against Erwin Liskovic, looking battered and bruised, and they almost touch each other as Ercan cuts to right underneath him as they go towards the hairpin here at Dunlop, and he's going to try and go all the way around the outside. The number 54 Ferrari again, contact made at the apex there. Liskovic, he's spun around and through. Oh, dearie me, that was a bit messy between the two there.
He gets a much better exit out of the corner. Now we look to Buono fighting with Bru. Bru much closer to Buono than he was before these pit stages as well. I think he's gained out of all of this. Down towards turn one. Wide goes Buono, and Bru touches him, I think. They bump wheels, and there are the Ferraris further back. Ercan and Liskovic still side by side, and Liskovic and Ercan gets through.
He is surely going to have to let them through, whether he likes it or not. Oh, and another dive from Liskovic. Oh, he is not being particularly cooperative. Into the pit comes Neil, so that's going to drop him, I think, outside the top 10. Here's Laurito, up the inside of Aurelian Bru. That's a bold move into the first corner there. Yellow Cadillac on yellow Cadillac action too. And it's Laurito up to fifth then, right behind Marco de Buono. Now Seb Bunch is past Ercan. He's having a go at Liskovic. What a late charge we're seeing from our championship leader, Caitlin.
I bet they collided again, the Ferrari's on the exit there, because Bunch has got both of them now. So somehow they've lost time, lost momentum going onto the straight. Look at the slight little, Liskovic threatened to go for a dive, but Bunch got through. They're still side by side. You could say they're bunching up here. And we've got Liskovic on the outside into that fast turn two. And it looks as if he's going to get straight back through, although does run wide now. Through goes one of the Hypercar Cadillacs on the outside. They rub wheels, they rub wheel houses, and here comes Arda Ercan. He's not out of it just yet. 3 wide going into the left-hander. Oh my goodness me, tire smoke flies, and it's hard to tell who gets out in front actually. It's Liskovic again with that battered and bruised side of his Ferrari. As through goes Neil, but yeah, I think there's a bit of red mist descending here between the two. Oh my goodness, between the 3 Ferraris at this point. I know that Ercan and Liskovic both have Vista AF Corsa liveries, but they're certainly not acting like teammates here. I think they're pretty angry with each other, to be honest. And Vunch gets punched off the road. Back up the inside he goes. He's not out of it yet. This is ridiculous stuff here.
I didn't know you could run that. It's Felipe Massa, Robert Kubica levels of side-by-side, but in the dry here at Fuji then, this is going to be so tense through the final few corners, Caitlin, as Simičić, just fights for control here, and he fights to hold on to the lead of the race with Fabio Grigoletto, his first win just inches away, but Simičić denying him every step of the way then. Just another corner to go, and then the flat-out run to the straight. Simičić goes right to the inside, gets ultra defensive. Grigoletto always going to try and get the superior run. It's a drag race to the line. Wide goes Simičić, and it's surely going to fall just short here. Fabio Grigoletto as they cross the line, and it's surely going to be Simičić that takes victory by just a few meters then as they cross the line. Oh, I can't believe it. 0.079 of a second. What a fantastic win from Jene Simičić, but Fabio Grigoletto pushed him every single step of the way. Here comes Amos Cerrito. He's not given up on trying to get fourth off of Marco De Buono, but De Buono just going to have enough in hand to hold firm. That's his best result in that Ferrari that he's gotten all season as Amos Cerrito. 5th, 2 races in a row. No performance from these 2 Italians. And after so much bad luck, he ran out of fuel at Spa. He had a couple of penalties. He was fallen short just by a few meters on several occasions. He swerves across the line, and Bams and Kieran Prendergast can finally celebrate because he wins here, round 6 at Fuji, and deservedly so. It never looked like being anybody but Prendergast today. But Kieran Prendergast then, after 37 laps, takes his first victory in the GT3 class of the season. He will be absolutely delighted with that. Took pole position, scampered off into the distance, and made all the right calls today. And he is 12.5 seconds because of Callum Cripps, who gets his another podium. He had to wait so long for his first at Monza, and then a week later, he gets another, backing up his good friend and stablemate Kieran Prendergast then. So Cripps in second. Liskevitz battering bruise him. Wunsch and Erchan had all sorts of contact in the final stages there, but it was Liskevitz who somehow held on despite the car looking like it wouldn't pass an MOT. The number 54 is third with Seb Wunsch. Was the championship leader going into today. Not anymore. The 86 has to settle for 4th after that early pit stop. Fabian Ballet is able to get through to 5th. Erchan had a late problem that dropped him to 6th at the end there. Then it was Luca Vingard in 7th. Michel Rodriguez finished 8th. Regan Mitchell was 9th, and the top 10 was rounded out by Louis Gaspar. There you go, confirmation then. Simoncic by 60 hundredths of a second. Simoncic there takes his 3rd win in a row, but by far he had to fight for that one every step of the way because Grigolato on pole controlled so much of that race, and it's cruel in a way that he fell just short at the end, but nonetheless he never gave up at any point. I think that was certainly his strongest drive of the season so far by Fabio Grigolato. Michi Hoyer, he pit halfway through, tried to do something different on strategy, ended up being 5 seconds adrift in the end. So it was a valiant effort, but Michi Hoyer, this is going to lose him ground in both championships. Marco De Buono, his best result in 4th, just kept Amos Lorito at bay, who holds on to another 5th position. Aurelian Brew takes 6th for the 2nd race in a row as well, for that matter. We didn't talk too much about David Levy, but he made some good moves to get from 10th, I think, on the grid all the way up to 7th then, just ahead of Daniele Farinelli, who is on a run of top 8 finishes at the moment. Clement Gagord held on to 9th just from Gaëtan Quidel then.